this episode, I am hoping it's going to revolve around the possibility of a Last of Us Part 3. Saying that is just weird because in my mind I've built this entire thing around Part 2, to which is really hard for me to grasp around a Part 3. Um, so I wanted to aim just for that, but there's also other things that I thought about when studying this, because if you go on my Twitter is just 2's Brandon. That's it. It's a cross with like a bird on a dove on it, with a dove on it, you know. And if you haven't, if you want updates and stuff like that, just follow me there. Um, but on there, I have told you guys the things we'll be going over, and one of them was about the PS5, and it's not me necessarily sharing my thoughts on the console in general, but sharing. Not necessarily, I'm not into it. I could do it, but I just don't think that I would be the person to do that. One, I don't have enough equipment to do so, and if I was going to do something like that, I would like to be creative with it. But right now, I don't have that much equipment. I got me a new computer, new laptop, so. Be, or let's say Seattle for instance, that she goes to Seattle, she kills and she just completely slaughters anything in her path, clickers, WLF alike. But the thing is, the reason Neil Druckmann did not go with that direction, as he has stated, it didn't have what Part One had. Part One had a certain emotional essence in the game, and they couldn't find that essence. They couldn't find that element of emotional love or hate or whatever it may be. It's missing emotion, and so he decided to go with a very different route, a very dark route about hate and injustice, and which was plaid shirt on. In the game, that's not how it is. In the game, you're talking to Ellie when she was like 15, 16, maybe 17. Um, and that it completely ruined it. I mean, like, that's what I was thinking, because Ellie's wearing this blue shirt to which she was going around murdering Seraphites and killing the WLF. I thought for sure that it was someone else that died. No, they made me think otherwise. Oh, and so Naughty Dog itself can manipulate you in certain areas, and that's what really kind of messed with me in this game, was how different it was. And they got emotion. They did. They got a lot of emotions from this game, and it was not lighthearted ones. It was very dark emotions, hate, sadness, despair, hopelessness, rage. It's just these dark emotions that how people really feel. There are people that feel like this. So, excuse me, I was drinking something. But the alternative ending would be her going to someone else, to someone who was possibly immune. And I wonder how that would go. How would that actually go if she did that? And I think it would make a great story. I believe Naughty Dog can make a great story out of that game, but they chose not to because it didn't have that emotion to it. And I understand that. I understand that you need emotion in your story. You want to deliver a type of emotion to the game. And so my thoughts on this is that I really wish they would explore this a little bit more. I really wish that they would really consider going down this route than the route they did take with Part 2. And the reason is because it's not necessarily because of Joel or even the characters. It seems more it seems more deeper to Ellie than anything. Because if you imagine with me, if you will, Ellie figures out that Joel lied to her, And over time in part 2, we hear all these conflict, all these conversations between Joel and Ellie. I think it's twice. One is in the middle of the game where you go into, I think, the music store trying to get some more strings, and she says, "Too bad this couple that left Jackson and then ran to a horde, and she said, too bad they weren't immune." And then at the end of the game, she said to him, and it was like right before the game started too. So it's a lot of timelines. Right before that happened, before that, she said to him that she called him a jerk, and what he did took away her purpose of her life, that her life could have mattered. And so you kind of see the deepness of Ellie's personal affliction and heartbrokenness over the fact that she could have had meaning and that she's never met another immune ever. And that the idea that an idea of that is so just deep. It's thrilling. It gives you the idea of how would Ellie act to a person who is just like her. It's like being in a village of normal people, and you yourself have some type of superpower, and you find that someone else has that power. It's a type of, you're both are outcasts. You're both are trying to hide it. You're both are trying. It's a very interesting. It would be a very interesting story, one that I would love to see. And maybe they'll do that with the HBO. Maybe they'll do that with the HBO Last of Us TV series. And I know they're going to explore more things with Joel, which I really want to see. So yeah, I think in my own thoughts, I think this would have been a great idea to make a story about Ellie finding a certain person who is just like her, who is immune and feels the same way. That there is a cure to this, and oh, what's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well. But oh, it went black. Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't matter. I'm not even playing anything. That's kind of the reason why I do this right here. I don't play the game is because of having the black screen, so you can just listen to audio if you need to. But my thoughts on this, it would just be a very interesting game, to see that. Yeah, I did too, man. I really wish they gave a little bit more thought into that alternative story, because to me, it's a lot better than this idea and this concept of hate. And don't get me wrong, this game it has a appropriate message for an appropriate time. It does. It's just, I think, in the great goal of sending a message that is really needed today, they have destroyed one of the greatest stories and the greatest games I've ever seen. And they meant well. They intended well. But when you do something well and you're looking to have good intentions, it's going to have certain consequences. And this is, I think, is one of the consequences. I believe they're going to have a very hard time making a part 3. That's why I don't know if they're going to make a part 3. And if they do, I don't know if I might get it. And I know that's something that's contrary to what I've said up here. And the reason that I don't know if I would get it is because the Last of Us series, it revolves around 2 characters. And when you take away one of those characters, and they're just not in the game anymore, either one of those characters, and you take them out of the game, it's not The Last of Us anymore. Not to me. Part 1 was about Joel and Ellie. Part 2 was really only about Abby and Ellie, really. Those are the two primary characters. But once again, the game is not necessarily about 2 characters. It's about a message. It's about the tragic tale of revenge and the consequences it reaps. Okay? It's about sowing and reaping. It's a thing that the things that you do and the consequences that you reap. It's that type of story. And like I said, it's an appropriate message for an appropriate time. But I really believe that in this good intention they've had for the game, they've messed it up. The series, they've messed it up. And now, get me wrong, the gameplay, it's fabulous. It's great. It's great. Gameplay is great. I believe the story's great. I just think they, in a sense, they have destroyed the series in a way which they can't take it back. It's like death, man. When it happens, and there's no going back. It's just, Joel can't be in the picture anymore. He can't really be in the picture anymore. And if he is, he'll be just like a something that you'll see in the game, or like quoted, or even mentioned, or maybe even not even mentioned explicitly, but symbolically and metaphorically, and just uses certain synonyms to describe him. And one of the things I'm going to be talking about part 3, and I'm going to hold off for right now, but it's about Abby, and it's about where it goes with part 3. So right now, we've went over the alternative story, and I think they should have gone with it. I think they should have gave more thought and to really see that what they were doing with part 2. And I'm pretty sure they have. I mean, it'd be pretty weird to say that Naughty Dog did not think about this. I'm pretty sure they did, and I'm pretty sure they thought about the consequences that were going to happen if they took this direction. So I think I would have enjoyed it. I would have enjoyed this game very much if it went to that direction, and I enjoy the game with this direction. I just think they've done a little bit more harm with this direction, the direction they've went for The Last of Us Part 2, and many of the decisions they made in this game. And I'm still trying to understand the decisions they've made. And don't get me wrong, I'm trying to understand it. I really, really am trying to understand what they were trying to achieve in this game. And hopefully I can come to a place in my trying and attempting to understand the game that I can come to a place where I'm I'm content with what it's saying, and I can find some type of closure with the game. Because once again, this game has done something to me that not many people can do. They have grabbed my attention on this game, and it just once again, it's just I put expectations on this game, and I put expectations on the director and the producers and the creators of the game. That's my fault. They didn't give me those expectations and fail. I put those expectations on them, unrealistic expectations, that they never promised me anything. So it's really my fault for having those expectations for this game. And so when I had it, I was really disappointed. Just to share my emotions here. And I hated that I did that. So yeah, I would have enjoyed a story like that Ellie would have found a person who was just like her, because that right there really shows you how much Ellie felt after Joel lied to her. She felt like she had no purpose, and she felt like Joel took that away from her. And you find someone else who may feel exactly the same way. It's just one of those things y'all, that I just wish that they went with. I shared emotions with Abby even. I shared emotions with just like as if these were actually my own family. Their characters are real, but as I'm going to be going over as the character reviews, because I'm doing character reviews, I did Joel last episode, and what I thought about him and his position and his role in this game. I'm going to be going over a few more, like Abby, Ellie, Jesse, Tommy. So yeah, next we're going to be talking about The Last of Us Part 2's future multiplayer, and there's also even been a statement that there is no DLC for The Last of Us Part 2. There is no DLC. And I want to give you my thoughts first on the latter, with no DLC for The Last of Us Part 2. I want to give you my thoughts on that, because we have went over two perspectives in this game of The Last of Us Part 2, Ellie and Abby. But there's one person too that went on a killing spree, and that was Tommy. I want to see what Tommy went through. Because before Ellie left, Tommy did. And when Tommy left, you get in this situation too, which when you're playing as Abby, where Tommy is sniping you, and you know it's him because you see what he's doing with the, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but I probably already have already, but, but it's Tommy, and it's like, holy crap, this guy is really good with this. He's a really good sniper, and I wish that we could see that part. I wish we could see it through his eyes. I would love to see that. But once again, they've said that they're not making a DLC for this game. It's a standalone title with its own game, and that's it. That's it. There is no multiplayer with it. There is no DLC with it. It's just a game. It's just a game. And once again, I'm glad for this game. I enjoyed it, and I just wish some things were different. Obviously, but I'm trying to be content with how the game ended and how the game ended up to be. But yeah, I would love to see a DLC for Tommy. You play as Tommy when going after Abby and all the other guys. Because one of the people, when you first Seattle won day one with Ellie, you're gonna see that Tommy interrogated one of the people that were with the group that killed a certain person. Okay, so yeah, I mean, yeah. Sorry, I'm reading a little bit of my comment section. Yeah, like I said, man, it does something when there's something about when you get rid of any of the characters, and they're nothing more than a foreshadow, it ruins the game. And if they need to name it as something else. That's what I'm going into when I go over part 3, but we'll get there in a minute. But I want to give you my thoughts on this. I really think that they should release a DLC for Tommy. I want to see his perspective. I want to see what he went through. I want to see the things he did. I want to see how he would be in those situations. I want to see just him, sniping Abby and Manny. It's like, holy crap! It's pretty cool, man. And then what he does to Manny in front of Abby, it's like, dang! I just didn't see it coming when it happened. I was like, oh crap! Because Tommy, you don't want to mess with Tommy, man. That's one of the things I got to tell you about, man. Is Tommy? He's underrated to his brutality and his survival skills. He's really good, and it's probably because of what Joel and Tommy did together before the 20 years leading up to the first game. So I would love to see something like that. That'd be pretty cool. I would like to see something like that. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on. If I ever had a wish list for a DLC, it would be that. Okay, now here comes the thing where I myself am kind of wondering about. We are going to be talking now about the future of the multiplayer for The Last of Us Part 2. And why this is a very troubling topic to take. Because I do not believe that Naughty Dog is done with The Last of Us Part 2. They have stated that they love factions. They love their online game, multiplayer game, on The Last of Us Part 1. You had to get a season pass to play the multiplayer, and they themselves didn't even think it was going to get this as big as it got. Okay? So, they're obviously into this. Now, they've told us that the multiplayer will not be on The Last of Us Part 2. It is a standalone title. And that's it. It just has the original full story. And I've heard rumors saying that The Last of Us Part 2, 2's multiplayer, will be a standalone title for the PlayStation 5. Now, I know that's weird, but I can see it happening. I can definitely see that as something. I can see that. It's a great way to start it off for a PlayStation 5 release, is getting a multiplayer for one of the most anticipated games of our generation. It's something that is so loved, because when we heard that The Last of Us Part 2 was not going to have a multiplayer on release, we were kind of upset. We were kind of discouraged. We were like, what? And it's like, I'm not gonna buy the game now. What am I gonna do when I beat it? You know, what am I gonna do? And I understood because when they first said it, they wanted people to play the game. They worked very hard on this game, and they wanted people to actually play it, the story. And they put all their attention on the single player. Now, when it came down to the multiplayer, you know, because people jump right into the multiplayer and don't even care about the story. So you know, and they always could have done this kind of choice where, like, you know what, in order for you to play the multiplayer, you gotta beat the story. You know, something like that. But you know, I don't know if The Last of Us Part 2 is going to have a multiplayer for PS4. I don't know. I don't see it happening because the PS5 is coming out soon. This year, in a couple of months, it's coming out. Excuse me. Talking a lot makes me thirsty. But yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see it coming out for PS4. I see it coming out for PS5. And if that's the case, I'm getting me a PS5. Because I need a PS5. I need it. I need a PS5. I really do. I really need a PS5. And so yeah, I need a PS. You know, are they going to do that? Because that always wondered to me, because it's a very pretty big game. It has seasons. And you know, it's just, guys, it's just a different thing for me. It's just, I just don't know if they're going to have a multiplayer for the PS4 for The Last of Us Part 2. I just don't think it's going to happen. Simply because how close the PlayStation 5's release date's about to come out. You know, it just sounds like it's not going to happen. But who knows, man? Who knows? Hopefully, we won't have to pay for it. Hopefully, Naughty Dog can give us enough grace to literally just have it for free, and it'd be a standalone multiplayer game, an online game, like any battle royale game, you know, or like what was that game called with alien? Like, it was like, not aliens, but Evolve. There we go, Evolve. It's like a 2K game, you know. It's a multiplayer game. So it's I think that we need a multiplayer. We desire it, and we should have one, because it's true that the factions really saved The Last of Us, and it kept people playing it because of how fun it was. It was something new, and it was fun, and it was just something you just be entertained by all the time. And we need something like this. We need something with a multiplayer, either by battle royale. I would suggest not just battle royale, but a multiplayer as well, for like team deathmatch, free for all, etc., those type of things. So yeah, those are just my thoughts on those two things. I hope that they change their minds about a DLC. I really would. If I had a wish list, it'd be Tommy. What was it like for Tommy? And give me the 3 days of Tommy. You know, 3 days of Tommy, and then I'll be pretty satisfied for the DLC. So yeah, now we're getting to one thing that I want to talk about, and I've always wanted to talk about. And it was after I beat the game, you have this question that is the hardest question to ever ask, especially with a game like this. It's 2 words: what's next? What's next? What's next for this game? And so that leads me to the last topic, The Last of Us Part 3. Now, once again, me even saying that, it's so weird. And it's because you have removed one of the main characters. And it's no longer The Last of Us anymore. It's not The Last of Us anymore when you add one character, exchange one character for another. It's different. And God forbid you take out the other main character and you make the entire Last of Us Part 3 about Abby. I just couldn't do it, man. It's not Part 3. It wouldn't be Part 3. Because if it was, it'd be with Ellie and Joel. I need both those characters for it to be a Last of Us game. That's what I need. It's what we want. But we can't. But once again, if they take away Ellie, then I don't know if I'm going to get the game. Because once again, it's a different game. It's not The Last of Us anymore. If they're going to do it, they should be naming it The Last of Us 3. Not The Last of Us Part 3, as if it's a continuation of the game. We need a Part 3 with different characters. That's what I thought they should do. You know, if you're going to... If I believe that the Part 2 should have been about just Ellie. That's it, just Ellie. They didn't have to add Abby into it. I believe they could have added Abby into it in part for like Last of Us 3. Then I could see that happening. They just did something weird with the game, you know. So it's just I don't know about a part 3. I don't know. You know, we spend a while on this game, and maybe I'm been denying this, but someone asked me, one of my family members, they know about my love for this game, and they know how much I literally have dedicated most of this entire channel to this game, and how the game went, and they asked me, "Are you disappointed?" And I said, "Not really," but deep inside, I was. And once again, it's nothing that Naughty Dog did. It's just I just felt misled, you know, by the story trailer, by the release date trailer back in September of last year. I just felt misled, and I was disappointed in my own expectations of the game. And I wish that there was more. I wish there was a little bit more, because, and I'm not even kidding, the person in my family, they talk to me, and they're like, "Man, I'm really sorry that it's not the game that you thought it was going to be." And I was like, "Me too. And obviously I don't blame myself for it, but I'm the one that put those expectations on the game. So I'm just really I'm not going to say disappointed, but I can't find any other word. And so I'm just going to say right now that I am disappointed for part 2, but not in the way that many people think you so. I'm not disappointed and like, "Oh man, I'm just so disappointed." I'm not like, "Oh, I'm so disappointed," and Naughty Dog, they did make a terrible, terrible game. "Oh man, they you know, all their, you know, gay, you know, messages," and no, none of that crap. No, that's not what I'm trying to get to. When I mean that I'm disappointed, I mean that I wish that it was more. I wish it was different. I wish that it took a different direction. But I cannot say that the game sucked. I can't say that. The game did not suck. It didn't. To say that it sucked was not getting the idea of the game, the message of it. It's not. You're not getting it. Either one, you're not getting it, or two, it's just not your type of game. And I understand that. Obviously, I understand that this may not be a game for you. I understand that. So, but anyways, yeah, I don't know. I know that I say that I may not get it, but we all know that I'm gonna get it. Even if it is to come out part 3, and it's not even about Ellie or Joel, you know I'm gonna play it. I may not agree with the decisions they've made in the game, but you know, but I'm still gonna play it because it's part of The Last of Us, and I'm just trying to grasp it now and try to look at it I'm trying to look at it in a new way. I had my own view of The Last of Us series, and it's just it completely destroyed my view of what it would be. And so, you know, like I said, my expectations. So I'm really disappointed in myself, more like that I did that. So, but anyways, yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to state about this. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much my statement with Joel. It's very funny how everything went with Joel, because he was a different man than the man that I met in part 1. He was so different, man. I'm not even kidding. He was so different. You know, part 1, he was a very vicious, brutal, mistrusting guy. You can trust him, but dude, he wouldn't trust you. You know? So, I don't know. It's just, it's one of those things, guys, that... It's just one of those things that it just really threw me off on how they made him in this game. And I think that looking for I just don't know. I just don't know, guys. I don't know. I really, really don't know. But now I'm focusing also, I have this, there's a new game hopefully coming out in August 22nd. I know it says nothing to do with The Last of Us Part 2, but if anyone knows me, I'm a huge Batman fan. And there is a Batman film coming out, and there's a Batman game coming out, and there's coming a Batman TV series coming out to give us a better background and history of the movie. And so I'm really excited for what he's doing, because let me tell you right now, it's produced by, it's going to be directed by Matt Reeves, okay? Matt Reeves is one of my favorite directors. He directed one of my favorite remakes trilogy, Planet of the Apes. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War of the Planet of the Apes. And that's a trilogy, okay? And he did amazingly in every single one of them. I swear, it got better each one. It just got better, you know, and many people don't agree with me on that, but I understand that. But man, Matt Reeves hit the nail on it too, and I loved it. And so when I figured out he was directing the Batman movie, I'm like, shoot. And not to mention the actor who's playing Batman, I had no idea that he would be the next one, you know. So, but yeah, I'm really excited for this new Batman game. Supposedly that, I forgot who it was. I think it was Montreal. I think it was Warner Brothers. Yeah, I think it was Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers Studios. I think they're going to be giving they're going to be giving a little bit of piece of the game. And these are the two series that I love. I love the Batman Arkham series, and I like the Last of Us series. Those are the two series I love. And I still have Arkham Knight, and I got Return to Arkham City and Turn to Arkham Asylum still. So I'm a huge Batman fan. So you know, I'm looking for the next game for that. That's the next game I'm looking forward to. I don't know if I'm gonna get Ghost of Tsushima. I'm not a huge fan in the realm of samurai, but it does look like an interesting game. I saw the gameplay they released a few months ago. So yeah, I'm interested a little bit in it. Okay, I'm interested. I'm just gonna watch the Rad Brad play it, or if Corey Kenshin plays it, I'll watch him. So yeah, I mean, this is all my thoughts on the part 3. I don't really see how you can have a part 3. It's if you get rid of Ellie. If you get rid of Ellie from the game and you just put her in there once and then, I don't know. It's not gonna be The Last of Us anymore to me, because it's not about Joel and Ellie. If it needs to be, it should be Last of Us 3, just 3, not part 3, but 3. You know, just to signify it's a different story, but it's in the same world. You know, so that would have been better. That would be better fit for it. So, but anyways, that's all my thoughts on this. I really don't have a. Once again, this is not a coverage channel for Last of Us stuff. I can try to find some channels if that's what you're looking for. But in here, you're just going to hear my thoughts. You're going to hear what I think, and that's it. It's me and you. It's just me and us just talking about it. For all these people who love the game and just want to talk more about it. So yeah. I don't know what they're going to be planning for the next game. Hopefully it'll be good. You know, hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully they're going to make it somehow good. But once again, we all know that I'm going to play the game anyways. Part 3, I'm going to play it anyways. You know, even if I have to get a PS5. I'll get a PS5 if I need to. So, Hopefully by then I'll have a job, and hopefully we can go back to things the way it was before. So yeah. But anyways, let me see if there's any comments on my. Nope. I think we're good. Yep. I don't see anyone else here. Yeah. Yeah, and when I'll charge my phone, my other phone, and I'll charge my other phone, and I will try to find some really good places you can go to see some good coverage over Last of Us Part 2 stuff, or any Last of Us stuff. Really, I'm just gonna give my thoughts on it. Really, I'm just getting my thoughts on it, on certain topics, and maybe in a sense that is coverage, but it's not really. It's biased coverage, if you could say, if you know what I mean. It's not factual. It's just grabbing a topic and a fact, but then just giving my own thoughts into it. Just giving my own opinion about it. So. But yeah, anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this episode. I really hope that you guys enjoy these episodes, and I know they're long, and it's because we have a lot to talk about. And maybe when I get better equipment, I can chop it up again. Chop up the stuff into just like 10-minute, 10-minute episodes. So yeah, but anyways, guys, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this game. I hope you enjoyed this game. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoy it. And if you have any comments, anything like that, just put in the comment section down below, and I will read them as soon as I can. Okay. If you enjoy the stuff here, subscribe. Consider subscribing. And if you want to keep up with me with the books I read, really, books I read, the things I might be going over in another episode, my thoughts on new games, all that stuff, just hit me on Twitter. TLOU Brandon, it's like that. Once my phone charges, I'll put it up there, and we can, So anyways, guys, with this all being said, I hope I'll see you guys in the next one, and God bless you.